Hello and welcome to the Premier League Team of the Week. This is where I make a Team of the Week of the best players that have played well over the weekend and on Monday. And I hope you really enjoy it. If you do, make sure you press the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. It really does help the channel out as I aim to be around 2,500 by the end of the year. Which I think will be quite difficult now. I really do. But we shall see. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So in goal, we have Joe Hart. So this one was really hard. I thought Patricio, Alex McCarthy, Lucas Fabianski, Ariza Balaga, Alisson had really good games. But I felt Hart kept the 3 points for Burnley. He made some really good saves. He tipped some over the bar. And he was very good. In the Burnley performance, it wasn't the best. They managed to get the 3 points, and I feel like that was because of Joe Hart. If he wouldn't have been in goal, then I think they may have drawn or even lost the game. He was in last week as well. Didn't want to put him in 2 weeks running, but I felt like he was the best goalkeeper this week. So in goal we have Joe Hart. Right back we have West Ham right back Pablo Zabaleta. So Zabaleta had a really good game in lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. He caused Manchester United a number of problems going forward. He set up the first goal for Felipe Anderson, and he just looked a constant threat going down the right-hand side. Despite his aging years, he was still a threat going forward and a very key player for Pellegrini in their brilliant 3-1 win over Manchester United. Two centre-backs in this 4-2-4 formation. The first one is David Luiz. David Luiz had a really good game against Liverpool for Chelsea this weekend. He was so solid at the back. He looked really good. Everything was going through him. He was passing and he was causing problems at both ends. Both putting people through, looking for Hazard constantly, as well as doing his defensive duties very well. Him and Rudiger have made a really good partnership so far this season. They look pretty solid. I really like Rudiger, but I felt like David Luiz had the better game, and he is the first centre-back. Second centre-back, we have Harry Maguire. So a really good game by Harry Maguire this week. He scored the second goal that basically won the game for Leicester City against Newcastle. He also won a penalty, and he was very defensively solid. Very defensively solid indeed. It was his shot that hit Kennedy on the hand that got the penalty for the first goal as well. As well as this, he was so defensively solid. There was a bit where he was tangling with someone, and he just calmly got the ball away. Very professional performance by Harry Maguire. Somebody that I haven't really focused on too much in the Team of the Week so far, but he had a fantastic game against Leicester, and he is the second centre-back. At left back, we have Danny Rose. Danny Rose was a constant thorn in the side of Huddersfield, and it's the first time he has been in the side this season, I think. But he has been really improving in recent weeks. I've been so impressed with him against Switzerland for England, and in the last few weeks as well against Brighton. And he's shown a lot of quality in his performances, a bit like how he was a couple of years ago before that long-term injury. It's really good to see him back to fine form. He won the penalty for the first goal as well. So at left back we have Danny Rose. Two central midfielders, one plays a lot further forward than the other. The first is Mark Noble of West Ham. Noble set up, he assisted the third goal that won the game, and he was a right little tiger in the middle of the midfield. He was constant battling with some really big players, the likes of Fellaini, McTominay, Paul Pogba were all in the midfield, and he battled hard, and he really shone, and he was so key in that brilliant win over Manchester United. Next we have Gylfi Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson, despite missing a penalty, scored two lovely goals as Everton eased to a 3-0 victory over Fulham. I was so impressed with how he guided around the pitch, causing problems, and he was the key man. Over last summer they brought in Sigurdsson, but they also brought in a flurry of talent, including David Klassen and Wayne Rooney. This meant that there was a lot of competition in the same place, but now that Asen has been sold to Werder Bremen. Rooney is now playing in the United States. This has allowed Gylfi Sigurdsson to flourish this season in his role. Absolutely fantastic performance by him. At left wing, we have Eden Hazard, who has been touted as the best player in the Premier League right now, and it's very, very hard to disagree. He has already scored 6 goals so far this season, and scored the winning goal on Wednesday night, as they beat Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, and he was at it again, scoring the opening goal, a lovely finish, beating Alisson in the far post. He was a constant thorn down the side. He was a really, really influential player. He set up some good chances and was really, really brilliant. He has been absolutely amazing under Sarri. He looks like back to his best under Sarri, and it'll be interesting to see just how many goals and assists he can create this season, but it's very, very good so far, even though it's early days. Right wing, we have Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling was involved in the second goal, and he scored the first goal. 2 great counter-attacks that was. He was brilliant, constantly probing the defence of Brighton. He was everywhere, and he's been fantastic so far this season, assisting, scoring goals as well. And he's, outside of Harry Kane and Mo Salah, he has the most assists and league goals since the start of last season, which is an absolutely incredible stat for him indeed. Obviously, Mo Salah scored a ridiculous amount of goals, and so does Harry Kane, so to be up there is absolutely phenomenal. He's been absolutely fantastic for City this season, and he's been creating a lot of chances as well as scoring goals, which is really, really brilliant. 2 strikers. The first is Alexandre Lacazette. So Lacazette scored the opening goal against Everton in their 2-0 win, and he sort of scored the first goal against Watford. It turned out to be an own goal, but he was there battling with Kafka. The last touch did come off Kafka, but he set up the second goal as well for Mesut Ozil. So really, really good performance by him. He has been really, really good since coming back in the side. He's scoring goals, he's making assists, and he's just been absolutely fantastic under Unai Emery, somebody that's getting the best out of him and Aubameyang in the same side. Finally, the last striker, we of course have Harry Kane. Scored twice, and you can't really argue with that. A penalty and then a lovely headed finish against Huddersfield, and then they just managed the game as comfortably as they could. No problems whatsoever. Harry Kane, he can have his problems, but when he does have his problems, he still manages to find the net time and time again. And that if he has enough chances, he will score a couple of goals at least, and that's what happened. And he could have had more, to be fair. He could have had more. Lossell made a good save as well, but Harry Kane is the striker as well. So that is my team. Joe Hart in goal. Back 4 of Pablo Zabaleta, David Luiz, Harry Maguire and Danny Rose. And then central midfielders are Mark Noble and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Wingers, Eden Hazard and Raheem Sterling. And then the strikers are North London duo Alexandre Lacazette and Harry Kane. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you press the thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching anyway. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.